Good afternoon. Welcome to CraftWorld Live. Now, if you are not on CraftWorld today, maybe you're joining us from Facebook. Maybe you're joining us from one of the many channels we've got on there. So welcome if you're joining me today from Die Cutting Essentials page. Maybe you're on the Simply Cards and Papercraft page. Maybe you're on CraftWorld HQ. Maybe you're on Simply Lettering. There's what else have we got? Creative Stamping. There's so many. So welcome to everybody. I'm actually speaking to a much larger audience today. I'm really excited because we've got brand new products that are launching. In fact, they're on pre-order, and we are talking about the company Stamperia today. Now, this is a company that we've sort of had on CraftWorld for a little while, or through CraftStash. But we haven't really focused on it. And I was asked, what do I like doing? What do I really like? I mean, I love making cards, I love scrapbooking. Where's my passion and where are some of those favourite products of mine? And Stamperia was top of that list. So I'm really excited because I'm demonstrating all three demonstrations today. I cannot wait because I'm going to get really messy fingers and I'm going to be showing you some techniques. We've got some products that we haven't shown before that I'm going to be working through with you. We've got those pre-order products as well that I can show you. We've also got fantastic discounts. Now today, one of the big things, you can see it going across the screen there, is we have actually got 10% off of Stamperia products. That's over on CraftStash, so that's www.craftstash.co.uk. Now the code you need to get that 10% off is MIX10. Now, what I've also noticed is, which is absolutely fantastic, if you love mixed media, there's also lots of other brands on CraftStash that do mixed media. So you've got your Andy Skinner, you've got your Diane Reevely, all of these you can also use. So if you're signed up to the emails through CraftStash and you get them in the morning, check that out because that's going to tell you absolutely everything that you've got that 10% off with using that code MIX10. If you're unsure, pop it in your basket, try it, and you'll be able to see what it's come off of. So we are really talking about mixed media today. Okay, now really exciting, we've got lots of giveaways as well. Of course, we're giving away, I think it's nearly £100 worth of product. We will have 2 winners from earlier in the week. So of course, if you join us on Facebook on the CraftStash page, we always put up a little bit of a competition as such earlier in the week. So check that out, usually sort of Tuesday, Wednesday, that goes up. Just comment on there. Usually there's a question, what's your favourite product, something like this, and you can be in with a chance of winning. So we have 2 winners from there, and then we'll also have 3 additional winners. You're all going to be able to win a bundle of Stamperia products. Some of them will be what I'm using today as well, new ones, not used ones. And those 3 winners are going to be chosen from the comments. Okay, so we'll pick them towards the end of the hour. We're always live for an hour, fingers crossed if nothing goes wrong, and as you can see, we're still from my living room, fingers crossed as well. We'll also be back in the studio soon, but it's working. Now I've got my phone here so I can say hello to a few people. So there's some fantastic names here that are joining us every week and some new ones too. So I'm just going to scroll to the top. There's loads of you. Sam Calcott is watching. Hello Sam, thank you so much for joining us. Madison Walsh, June Woodhouse, I apologise. Hello Sam, Cheryl Thomas, Christina Griffiths is watching as well. So you'll know some of these names too. There's like crafting celebrities, aren't they? Shelley Yolden, Helen Griffin is watching also. Michaela Han, hello. Michaela was lucky enough to win something recently. I posted out to her, so I was pleased to see receive that. So this is the thing. Anyone here commenting can win some of these bundles. So make sure you're all commenting. We've got Michelle Capstick, we've got Kim Parker, Debbie Siddle, Joan Ruffneen, I hope I said that right. Now, because today it's a little bit special, so we've been going out as CraftWorld. And we're absolutely loving the site. We love going live to CraftWorld. But we've taken your comments into consideration, and we know that the commenting system over there, we haven't quite tweaked so it's perfect. So what we've decided to do, while our developers are working on getting those comments where we need them to be able to watch the video and comment and everything easily at the same time, we're also going to be streaming to Facebook and all of these channels. So what I'd love to know in the comments is what platform or what page are you watching us on? Are you on Simply Lettering? Are you you on creative stamping. Maybe it's one of the like Papercraft Essentials, for example. Wherever you're watching from, let me know in the comments, because that's really good as well. We then know where you're coming from, so please do that. And that comment will also count as almost an application to win the bundle at the end. Now, shall we get looking at, first of all, these pre-order products from Stamperia, okay? So I've got some little printouts here. Because they're pre-order, obviously I don't have my hands on the products. We're talking about beautiful, beautiful papers. Now, I'm just going to bring you down to the desk just here. So these are the front covers of the paper packs that you are able to pre-order now on CraftStash. Okay, so we are looking at some beautiful sweet treats. Now they're larger than this. They're going to be 12 by 12 paper packs. They are really, really good quality. And in fact, I've got some paper packs here from Stamperia to show you. And the quality is amazing. They're all double-sided. Like I say, these are just the front covers of those packs to give you a little bit of an idea, and I've also got a little video to show you as well, so I'll show you that probably after my first demonstration, so you can have a look and get an idea for the sort of papers that you'll be getting. So these are absolutely stunning. We've got like our coral effects in there, quite modern this one, the love story, and then we've got the princess as well. Do you know what, if you love shabby chic, this is the company for you. Not peeking at this paper yet. This is kind of what I'm using in my demonstration. We're looking at these new ones at the moment, but you can see the shabby chic running through, the beautiful rustic tones, and then you've got florals as well. Really beautiful. So these are 4 brand new paper packs that you can now pre-order on CraftStash, and we'll be looking at those again in a little while. But for all of the existing Stamperia products, like I say, mix 10, that code will get you 10% off today. Now let's have a look, because I need to dive very soon into my first demonstration, because I'm really excited. I've got lots and lots to play with today, lots of messy fingers. So let's first of all have a look at some of these products, shall we? So now I have got today to play with. First of all, I've got these beautiful tags. Now they are absolutely stunning. I love these. So they're like MDF, these ones. They're called, anything that's MDF from Stamperia is called the cartonnage. I hope I'm saying that right as well. So you actually get more than these. So you get 4 tags in a pack, and I chose the tags because they're nice and quick and easy to do as a demonstration. But there's lots of the cartonnage on the website. You'll see such good quality, and you've got the metal eyelets in there as well. So I'll be playing with these today. And then I've also got a stencil. Now you'll see the stencils on the website. I made this mistake. I thought they were sort of A5 in size. They are huge. They are so fun, and you've got all of this detail. Isn't this absolutely brilliant? I just love the vintage look to them. So I'll be using the clock, the script in there as well. There's lots, and this is just one of the stencils. There's loads on the website. There's stamps as well. I'll show you a set of the stamps in a little while too, actually. I need to put that there so I don't forget it. Now, pastes. There's a lot of pastes as well. I've chosen 2 to show you, but do you know what? There's so many on there, and there's also lots of videos on YouTube and such showing you how to use them as well. I've chosen to play with the crackle paste and the heavy body paste as well. So with these 2, there's different properties to each. You can mix each one with colour as well. I've chosen the white, but we're going to have some fun with those and with the stencil and everything as well today. So pop them to the side. The papers. Now, Stamperia papers are out of this world. They really are. First of all, just look at those colours. Are they not absolutely amazing? Absolutely stunning. I just need to say as well, if you're watching now and you're thinking I've got to dash out the door, or I can't stay and watch right now, you can catch up later on YouTube, so don't worry, you'll be able to catch up with everything. This video will be on YouTube for you to follow later as well. So by all means, you go and do what you need to do and pop back. But if you are here with us, thank you so much for staying. So the papers are amazing. Now with papers, if you've not heard before, it's the smell. It's the smell of papers where you can tell what the quality is like. And when you smell these, they are amazing. The stronger the paper smell, the better the quality. Okay, so let's have a little delve into these. Double-sided, even the front cover has pattern on the back. So even this one you're going to be able to use. And to be honest, Look at the front cover. How much are you going to be snipping away from there as well anyway? So this is the Imagine paper pack, and this is what I personally chose to use. This isn't just what I was sent. I just absolutely adore this. Look at everything on here. We've got some stunning lace this side. We've got beautiful text in the background. We've got elements we can fussy cut out as well. As I work through now, you will notice as I go through, actually there'll be bits cut away and such. So just don't mind those. That's where I've been playing with them, and you'll see why later. But look at the detail, the distressing, that very shabby chic look. This looks like fabric or old wallpaper and things. That is beautiful. And then we've got these dried flowers. Are they not absolutely stunning? Are they gorgeous? I love them. I just want to cut every single one of them out. And I love that they're on book pages, that you've got the little bits of tape as well. You've got here this, look at this cracked effect. That looks three-dimensional, doesn't it? It's perfectly smooth. So all of these papers, you are going to have the white core, so you can sand them back, you can distress them, you can then ink into them and get your true colour of ink as well. You can emboss them, you can die cut them, you can, what's another technique? Well, fussy cut, of course. There's all sorts you can do with them anyway. So with here, we've even got little metal embellishments that look like metal embellishments printed on there. We've got the gorgeous vintage envelopes as well. I mean, this just looks like a journal, doesn't it? It's so pretty. I mean, I could look at that. That is beautiful. And this really is a true representation of all of the papers that you get when you're getting a Stamperia pack. Now, this is the 10-page pack. Okay, so I've got 10 pages, 10 sheets in here, all double-sided. So there's 10 pages, and there's larger packs as well. But I think with the 10 page, you actually get a nice little, what's the word? That's actually the back page. You get a nice indication of what you would get in a larger pack. Look how much, look, I have cut from there as well, but look how much you can snip out of there or use it as a complete background. If you love scrapbooking, these are 12 by 12, but of course for card making, for mixed media, these are going to be fantastic. Now with this one, hopefully you can see you've got the script in the, or the book print in the background and that damask pattern over the top, and then look at these toppers that you can be cutting out as well. Just looking at the comments here, you're all loving these as well. There's just, I'm trying to get to the bottom. You keep writing. Oh, someone just said Anne's just bought some Stamperia papers. They are so beautiful, aren't they? You would want to frame every page. Yes, Shelley said she'd want to frame each one. I absolutely do. They would be amazing. I'll just turn this around the right way. You can see I've been snipping out of this. A little bit of a clue as to what's in my demonstration later. But they are beautiful. They look like fabric. They smell beautiful. Now, there's still lots and lots here that I can go through. This is what I'm using today as well, but sorry about the noise. It's just picking my papers up from the desk there. But I've also got some other bits here to show you. Now these are going to be potentially part of maybe a bundle that you could be winning. Don't forget to comment to be able to win. Now, Stamperia stamps, they are out of this world. Quite literally, we're under the sea with this set. There's lots of different themes in there. Do you know what? Stamperia, if you're looking for masculine cards, absolutely perfect. Look at, I'll take these out of the packet actually. I should have done this earlier because you'll be able to see the quality, the detail in these stamps. So they're not the clear stamps, they are that rubber. Can you see that detail? That is phenomenal. Each one is already cut out for you. They're foam backed as well. So easy to use, aren't they? Just absolutely beautiful. And that is gorgeous, isn't it? So all the stamps are absolutely beautiful, whatever theme you go for. So we've got different themes with Stamperia. So we're not just looking at shabby chic. We've got this beautiful secrets of India here as well. So we've got different colour tones in here. We've got florals. Just giving you examples of what you might expect when you look at the Stamperia brand, because I'm pretty sure we haven't focused on this one before for a CraftWorld Live. So it's really exciting to bring you brand new brands, brand new papers and embellishments and things, and just introduce you to new products that you may not have seen before. Look at that. That is amazing. Isn't that beautiful? If you're doing anything, maybe a card for a gentleman, a retirement card or something like that, going to be absolutely perfect. And that world map, is this not phenomenal? Do you love these papers as much as I do? They are good. I just want all of these, like I think was it Shelley who said about framing them? Absolutely. Scrapbook pages, there's backgrounds, they're just look out for some extra videos as well popping up on things like YouTube and on the CraftStash website, because I'm going to be doing so much with these. Now, we do have a few more things for me to mention very, very quickly before I go into my first demonstration. So we have a deal of the day today. Now, deal of the day is a Sizzix die. I'm just reading this because I've got so many details, so I need to take it down from here. So the Sizzix die is the cake pop-up, and you're actually able to save £10 on that. So it's gone from $14.99 down to $13.99, so that's a massive saving. And don't forget, we've also got that Mix 10 discount code today, so make sure you're using that not only on all Stamperia products, but we've got any sort of texture pastes and things like that you might be looking at. There's different mixed media things from Andy Skinner, for example. Look at all of those brands today. And also don't forget that we are on, so everything that I am mentioning today, all of these deals, these discount codes, if you go on to CraftStash, at the top there is a banner that you can drop down and you can see all the categories. There's a bargain section, I believe it's near the bottom, always is, isn't it? So down near the bottom there's bargains. If you pop into there, you can actually see everything from this week's Facebook Live. So again, if you do need to pop away for a little while, you can't stay for the whole hour, you can always come back and check out those deals over on CraftStash, so you don't miss out on anything, any of the discount codes that I might be mentioning. So while I'm demonstrating, make sure you get your comments in. Shall we have a look at my first demonstration? Now, I'm going to be using one of these tags. So this is absolutely gorgeous. I love how solid this is as well, because you get 4 of them. You could make yourself a little booklet if you wanted to, a couple of cards using these as the front and back. I'm going to be starting with the crackle paste. Now, just a little tip for you. Just rummage around. I'm just going to bring in some wet wipes. Always have a wet wipe handy when you're going to be using anything messy. This is me in my element now with this crackle paste, with all of these different pastes and inks and these beautiful papers. Now the crackle paste does come in different colours. I chose white because with the white you can mix it with I believe it's acrylic paint. You can mix it and then you'll get different. I'm mucky already, look, just from opening the lid. What am I like? So you can mix it, or you can leave it as white. But I've got one already dry, so I will be able to show you the crackle effect. But what I've worked out is you will need to leave this to dry naturally, to air dry, to get those crackles to really show through. What you don't want to be doing is thinking you put heat gun on it, because that won't work. What that will do is create a film over the paste. Trust me, I've tried it, so make sure you've got time with this to allow it to air dry. And it's beautiful. When I mean, it took about an hour, I think, even the thicker paste to dry. So just allow yourself enough time between projects to do that, and when you come back every 20 minutes or so, you'll see extra cracks in it. So what I'm going to do is I've just positioned my stencil over my tag, and I'm just going to drag gently this over the letters there, this script here. So I'm hoping you can't hear any of my background noise today. My daughter is attempting to help my son with his schoolwork, so that should be interesting. I've left them to it for the hour, but you may hear some arguing or something in a little while. There, so I've just scraped that over. Now what I tend to do is try and lift off any excess and scrape that back into the pot, because this is invaluable. You don't want to be wasting anything that's left on the stencil. You will end up having to wash off, and please do wash this as soon as possible as well. That's one thing I won't be able to do while I'm live, and I don't have a guest, so I can't pop off and wash it myself, but please do, if you can, wash that. Now just lifting the stencil up, I've got this script and I've got the crackle paste on there. Okay, so now that's a thin layer. With a thin layer, you're going to get very small little cracks in the paste as it dries. But if you want larger cracks, let me just pop that to the side, because I'm just going to show you one way of cleaning this up. If, like me, you can't always get straight to the sink to wash, just pop it onto a mat and dampen it down with a wet wipe and clean this. Now these masks are or stencils are extremely thin, and this is really good because if you want to bend this around an object, if you're doing a dimensional object, you are going to be able to bend this around easily. It's always advised that you put a little bit of stencil spray, the low tack sort of repositionable spray on the back to hold a stencil in place if you're doing something like that, which you can absolutely do, and that will prevent any bleeding through. But I'm quite happy with the distressed look, so I've just dabbed that for now. I'll give that a proper wash later, but that means I can use that again in one of my other demonstrations, which I will be doing. So I've got that, and at the moment that looks all very smooth, but that will crackle. But if you want to see larger crackles, you can apply this a little bit thicker. Now the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to put some on my spatula, and I think a spatula is absolutely one of the best tools for this. I can't think of any other way of doing it. You don't want to do it with your fingers because I think you would waste quite a lot, but there's some brilliant spatulas available actually under the Stamperia brand, so have a look for those as well while you're looking at your pastes. And I am just scraping this. Now I love the look of the, I suppose it's not smooth, you've got the texture built in there, so just going around this corner, and then I'm going to come in around this corner as well and smooth into there as well. So cleaning my spatula off on the edge, getting as much on there as possible, and I've left that really quite thick. Okay, there, can you see that texture now when I drop it down out of the lights? You can see how thick I've left this. So if I pop this to the side and I just bring in, I'm just going to clean my spatula because I will want that again later, and put the lid on. So make sure you replace the lid, you don't want that to start drying, and this will go a very long way. Now I have an example of one I've already done, but if I hold it up like this, can you see those crackles? Do they not look absolutely amazing? Now I'm just going to sit here and wait for 2 seconds just to see if I get any wow comments, because when I first saw it, I actually walked away for a little while. I thought, oh, it's not doing a lot. And I walked away and I came back about half an hour later and I thought, oh my, wow, just wow. Isn't that amazing? So we can see here, this is where I had a much thicker area and we've got larger cracks, and the same around here. On the edges where it's thinner, hopefully you can see that, we've got thinner cracks as well. Thank you, Joe Craft and June for saying wow. Thank you very much for humouring me there. I love my little wows. But, and also, I'm not sure how well you can see this. It's very hard on the camera. But on the letters, we have much smaller cracks. Okay, now this is completely dry. I did this quite a few days ago, so I can now start playing with this. Actually, you can see the cracks by me just putting it down there, so I didn't need to lift it up for you. But that is just so easy. Very often in the past we've had crackle mixtures and textures where we've needed to add 2 or 3 different layers to get that cracking technique. This is one paint, and as soon as it dries, there we go, it's done for you. Now I'm going to bring in one of my favourite colours from the Distress range, and that's an evergreen bow, and I'm going to not only go around the edge, but I'm also going to do a little bit into the cracks there. This is where I get really messy, and I'm going to spritz some water, because what I want to do is I want that green to sink into the cracks, just to, can you see they're showing up a little bit more, not a lot, just so we get a green tinge, and then we can go around the edge a little bit more and darken those. So just pressing it into the cracks so the green sits in there. And this doesn't have to be a green, this can be absolutely any colour you want, but you can colour the pastes however you feel best. So just pressing that into there. A little bit of a spritz of water just helps me lift off the surface, and the green remains inside of those cracks. And then I can go round my tag with the green as well, and I can blend it out, add as much colour as I like. You can leave it the craft colour and the white if you like, it's entirely up to you, but I love that, and I think that works really well as well with the colours of the papers that I'm going to be bringing in a moment. There was this mint green, there was some pinks in there as well, some teals, of course you've got the brown too, so it's really all starting to come together. Okay, and I'm getting messier and messier as we go. So there's my base. Now, like I say, this could actually go onto a card. This could be a mixed media product or tag. It could be something that goes onto a scrapbook page, whichever you like. Now, if I just bring across, you can see from the papers where I've picked this beautiful soft green from. It works really well with those crackles there. So taking from the papers, I've then got some fussy cut pieces. Now these have been cut from that paper pad, as that's sort of where my gaps were. I'm just going to actually click on my hot glue gun, because I don't think I put that on, and that's going to need to be on in a few moments for me, or in a little while. So that green perfectly echoes the nice mint green in there. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm going to place this. Now this looks like it's so many layers because of the shadows in there. On the reverse, we've got a really pretty pattern as well. So if you do decide you want to lift up and roll up any of these edges, you're not going to see bare white on the outside either. Now the best way to stick this down whilst keeping the dimension there is to use foam tape. So I'm going to start, first of all, I'm actually going to bring in another distressing, and I'm just going to bring in a brown. There we go, and just ink the edges of this, and that just finishes it off. Where you fussy cut, you often get a white edge, and that goes with any paper that you're fussy cutting, and this just helps to sort of darken that white edge there. So there's a tag. I'm going to place it on there. Now this needs to be reasonably dry for your foam, of course, to stick. Now my daughter's run off with my small scissors, so I'm using much larger ones today. I actually went up to her room to get them back earlier, and I got distracted, and I came back without them. Does anyone else do that? Completely get distracted, forget what you go somewhere for, or come back with something completely different. Now bear in mind that's still a bit damp from the water and the spritz, so just be careful sticking that down. And then I'm going to do the same, but down the middle of the dress. Okay, and I'm going to do 2 layers as well of this foam. This is foam from CraftStash. It's absolutely wonderful, but it's thick already, but 2 layers is really going to lift off the center of this dress so you can bend the skirt round, so it's beautiful. So don't forget, we have the deal of the day on Sizzix as well. So we've got that die set that's now down from $40.99 down to $30.99. And we have our code, our discount code on Stamperia products, and also lots of other mixed media products across the CraftStash website. So have a browse. I think mixed media is maybe something that not everybody has the confidence to get into, but once you start playing, you realize there really is no right or wrong. You will absolutely adore it. Okay, so I've got that dress on. By having that foam in there and bending, lifting up these edges as well, you've got lots of detail on there. Isn't it gorgeous? And then lastly, I'm just going to put some foam onto this heart as well and layer this up. So you can layer lots and lots. I actually didn't go around the edge with the brown, and I should have done because I said I was going to do that. So I'll do it to this heart, but I forgot the dress. So I'll just do this as well. So this is the first of 3 demonstrations that I'm hoping to get through. We've also got a video because there's those new papers. So Stamperia papers, you've already seen some of them today that I've shown you in the flesh as such. But there are 4 new paper packs that are available now on pre-order. Please make sure you grab them quickly. I think they're going to go very, very, very quickly. And I'm going to show you in a moment a video so you can see more of those. So I've just stuck that heart on there. And there's just a very quick tag using the crackle paste, using one of the paper packs. I think I only used 1 sheet of paper. I've used the stencil in the background as well. And of course you've got those crackles on that beautiful cartonnage tag there. You can still decorate the back of it as well, the reverse. So there's one demonstration there. Look, isn't that beautiful? So let's have a look now. I was just talking about pre-ordering those papers. So we've got a very quick video to give you an overview of the papers and more what you'll get from 3 of the 4 collections. So just take a look at this. So there's an overview for you of those brand new paper packs that CraftStash will be getting in very shortly, and you can pre-order them now, because as usual with CraftStash and with Stamperia, as soon as the paper packs come in, they go out very, very quickly. And I mean, are you surprised at the beautiful imagery that we have in them? They are absolutely stunning. Now, talking about paper, I've actually got something very different for you for the next demonstration. Now, this is something called stone paper. And to look at it here, I'll just show you down, it's maybe not the most exciting piece of paper you've ever seen. Okay, I get that completely. It's a piece of white paper. This is amazing. It's not as the name suggests. I'm just trying to find the packaging for you so I can show you. It's not as the name suggests, stone paper. It's not made of stone. It's actually made of, I'm not sure, to be honest, but it's a material that means that you can not tear it. You cannot rip it, so it's not going to break or bend very easily at all. I say bend, it does bend, it's flexible, but it's so strong that once you've created your design, created your product from it, you can actually then put it in the washing machine and it won't matter. I've actually tried wetting this to see what effect it has. It softens it up for a few moments and then it dries and it's back to its original state. But as you can see from the packaging here, so you can create things like bags, pencil cases, but you can create all of those mixed media techniques that you'd expect to be able to do on paper first of all. So stamping, die cutting, you can absolutely do with this. Inking, of course, you can do all of these too. And sewing, so you can use it with a sewing machine as well. So it's a fantastic piece of material to have in your stash. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to make a flower with it, and bear in mind that when you've made this flower, you can die cut, you can do the inking and everything, but then you can put it in the washing machine, so you can attach it. It can be attached with a brooch, it can be attached maybe with a pin or a hair piece. You can make a hair clip from it. It can go onto a bag if you want to, or it can be used for gift wrap. It can be used outside in the garden because of course the rain won't affect it. So it really is a very durable material. I've got one here, a piece here actually, that I put that crackle paste on just to try it out, and I've put some green ink underneath the crackle paste and used the white on top. So you can see it's just so durable. So let's start. I'll bring in my piece of paper that I started creating my flower with. I'm just going to show you how easily it die cuts. Okay, now just moving things around so that I can bring in my die cutting machine. So I've got the Sizzix Big Shot Plus. I mean, you may have other machines, that's absolutely fine. You just see it here, just see the edge of it. You don't need to see all of it, do you? And then pop my die on there. So you can die cut this in exactly the same way as you usually would. Now when I'm die cutting, I always talk about this little tip. If you're using a manual machine particularly, you've got a roller at the top and a roller at the bottom. What you want to do is to make sure the cutting edge of your die, so that's the sharp bit that cuts the paper, you want to make sure that is as close to one of those rollers as possible. And the best way to do that is to have the blades facing upwards, because usually within our sandwich, if we look at our die cutting sandwich here, so you can see my plates, my die is going to go in this last section here. Okay, and this is my top plate. So usually that's how it works. We have our die and our paper and then one more plate over the top. So that means the roller is sitting on the top of this plate. So the best way for you to sandwich your dies and your paper to get the best possible cut is to have the die, hopefully you can see this, the die on there, and then the paper on top, and this paper is double-sided as such, so you can die cut it either way you want to, you'll have the same effect, and then that one plate on top. And that cutting edge is as close to the roller as possible. Now if you think about putting your die facing downwards, so you'll do your paper, then your die, and then your plate on top, your cutting edge is then facing down, and the pressure from the bottom roller has to come all the way through your thick plate here and any other shims and plates you've got in there before it hits the bottom of that die. So that's sort of how I try and explain how I get the best cut possible from my dies. So I've just cut this upright, and as you can see, that's popped out beautifully. Now I'll keep that. That makes a fantastic stencil there that you can use. So just using a pokey tool or something, because we have release holes. This is actually a flower from a collection by Christina. So if Christina's still watching, it's one of your dies, my lovely, that I'm using. And I've used some others as well. So I've got some more flowers here too that I'll be inking and putting together in a little while, because we can shape this. So imagine your foam that you use for your flower making now. We use that because it's water resistant, you can shape it, it's durable, you can do things with it, you can still ink them, and this paper works in exactly the same way. But I feel more confident with this because it's paper as such and not a foam or plastic or any other material. So just bringing in my resistant mat here, and I'm going to ink the centre with a yellow there using my distress inks and my foam applicator, and then I'm going to use a nice pink, so worn lipstick on the outside there. So any of these products, these Stamperia products that you see me using today, don't forget we've got 10% off using Mix10, MIX10. You've actually got it going across the bottom of the screen. We've also got on pre-order as well is that Hunky Dory collection kit, so that magazine and kit. That's number 11, so you can now pre-order that. So that's fantastic. I know so many of you wait for that to come out and you sort of have that rush to get it. So just pre-order it and then you know you've already got yours coming to you. So now I've inked this stone paper, I can now do some shaping with it, and it holds its shape beautifully. I don't know if you can just see that. I'm just holding its shape just by rolling it around the pokey tools. It's such a strong material and yet so flexible and easy to use. I think I have the confidence because I know it's paper to try all these different techniques with it. So I've got that there, and now I've got a lot of other layers that I've already used as well. So there's 1, 2, 5 layers there. I'm going to stick the larger ones first. So just got my cable for my glue gun a little bit wrapped up, so a little bit of glue. Now you can use a wet glue with this, you don't have to use a hot glue at all. I'm only doing this for the speed of the demonstration here, so you can really see things come together very quickly, because I do have another demonstration I want to get to as well. Got lots for you today, lots of these Stamperia products I just wanted to get across to you because we've really never focused on them before. So it's really great to have that pre-order as well. Now the last set of petals that I created, rather than rolling them the way I did, I've actually rolled them all inwards. So can you see I've curved each one inwards like so. So I can now wrap these around each other. So I'm just going to tease them into each other like so. So I've now got myself a little bud, and I can add glue to the bottom of that, just all the way around the base there, and then stick that into the center of the flower. And those outer leaves, I'm just going to lift those up a little bit to stick to that glue and hold everything in. So just hold that for a second, because hot glue takes only a few moments to dry. And there, so we've got this made now from that stone paper. We can now put that on absolutely anything. Like I say, if you want to put a hair clip on the back, if you want to put a brooch pin on there, if you want to put it on a keychain, if you want to, you absolutely can. And with this you can use it with medium gel and rice paper. You can stamp images onto it and cut them out as well if you want to. You can do some colouring onto it. I would always suggest, before you pop it into a washing machine, use something like I think it is called Gel Medium, and it's available on CraftStash from the Stamperia range. It's a clear, like a clear gloss, a clear finish that you can use there. And you can just pop that over the top and it will seal any colour in, because of course I've used distress inks, they are water based, so they are going to wash out, but the paper itself will not damage. So if you seal this, that colour will stay, and you can pop that in the washing machine, or you can take it out in the rain if you think of attaching it to your umbrella or something. It'll be absolutely fine. Maybe decorate your flower with it, because I mean, this time of year I've got some lovely flowers in my garden, but in the winter they just, of course, they don't stay. So that would be lovely to decorate around your garden with them as well. So that is the Stamperia stone paper. And I do have another demonstration for you as well. Let me just come back and have a quick hello to some people, because I've got so many of you on the comments. No, because we didn't get to the garden centre, did we? Lorraine just said we didn't get to the garden centre this year. None of us have, I don't think. So absolutely, it's really good fun to create your own flowers and create yourself a nice colourful garden. No, Pam, it would look like that if you had a go as well. Really, really easy to do, I promise you. And there's loads and loads of flower shaping tutorials as well. If you go onto CraftStash's YouTube channel, in fact, which is where this particular video will be in a little while, that on that channel there's tutorials on absolutely everything. If you're ever stuck with anything crafty, actually, and you've got any questions on how to do something like maybe creating paper flowers or stone paper flowers, whatever it may be, pop over to CraftWorld. If you haven't already signed up, if you're not watching us at the moment through CraftWorld, if you're watching through Facebook, hello to everybody, please make sure you join CraftWorld. It's really easy to sign up. It's completely free to sign up as well, and you can join the forums, and over there you can ask people how to do techniques and how to create things, whatever your question may be. There's always somebody who will know the answer who can help you there, so make sure you join in there. So hello to everybody. We've got Rebecca Swanson, we've got Amanda Furness, we've got Pauline Crosby, we've got Angela Evans, we've got all these people. Some of you have said hello to already. Terry Kelly, hello. Linda Daffy, Lynn Clifton, Christina, yes, we have your dies. Thank you. I'm glad you're still watching. Did you see Christina's dies on Hochanda at the weekend? Absolutely fantastic. Those alphabets and the oval box are amazing. Anyway, so back to Stamperia. So I have one more demonstration for you. We're going to be looking at a card this time. So I am using, of course, again, these papers. Now, I absolutely love them. I have already, I'm making this quite a quick one because I've already cut into the pieces here, but I'm going to do some stenciling as well. So these are cut from that paper pack. Now, like I say, with paper, as soon as you open it, just smell it. This is the best way to know, is it good quality? Give it a sniff, and if it smells strong, it's a nice smell, then yes, you're onto a winner there. So I've taken a craft card base because I just think craft works so well with this particular range, and that sort of shabby chic vintage look that Stamperia do. I was just leaning for this. If you have a look, this would work so well with this paper, as do absolutely any of the paper packs. So rather than a white card base, I'm using these. And again, on CraftStash, there's lots and lots of different card bases that you can be choosing from. So I've cut this. Now, as it was quite rightly noted, I did forget again to ink the pieces that I die cut, that heart on the tag that I die cut. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to ink these first now. I've fussy cut around them already, and you do have this distressed edge printed on the paper. And don't forget, of course, you've got the option. Look at that. Isn't that just stunning? So if you have your own stamp, for example, you could stamp it there, or maybe you could bring in a bundle of flowers and place them in that blank area. But to make my life a little easier today, I'm going to use the printed side, so it's got some sort of a dried rose there. This looks very similar. I wish you could see in my back garden, which is just out here on the patio. I've actually got a rose bush at the moment, and the roses looks as if this has just come from that rose bush. They're just all coming out of bud now. They're beautiful bright pink, actually very similar to this colour at the moment. They're gorgeous. So I've just gone around the edge there, and that lifts that up. I'm going to use foam pads or foam tape as well and lift up those edges when I stick that down. And just so I don't forget, I'm going to go round these edges too, just there. So don't forget that deal of the day on CraftStash at the moment. There's a deal of the day every day, and please make sure you're signed up to the email notifications, because that's where you're going to be able to get those emails every day, and you'll know about all the deals, so all the special offers that we have. I mean, on a Friday we tell you about a few for today, but what about the rest of the week? You're going to get all of those deals, and anything I've mentioned today will be on CraftStash under the bargain section, under the CraftWorld Live, or this week's Facebook Live. It might be listed as, so make sure you go and check that out. So what I'm going to do now is do a bit of sticking down and stenciling. I'm coming back to my foam tape. I'm always requesting this from CraftStash because I love it. It's so thick. And do you know what the best thing with foam tape is? When the backing comes off easily. You know what I mean. When you've had a foam tape that the backing doesn't quite come off and you end up peeling it off, that's no good. This one from CraftStash, it just comes off beautifully every single time. So I do love it for that. So I've got my foam tape on there. I'm going to press that down. I'm not going to be lifting any edges up at the moment because I want to do some more stenciling. So this is why I did need to clean my stencil off earlier. I'm going to bring in another product that we have, and this is the heavy body paste. This is absolutely perfect for stenciling, for creating texture onto a surface. It dries really quickly. I mean, not as quick as we've got about 15 minutes left of this show today, so not quite that quickly, but it will dry fast. You can mix this as well with coloured inks and things. Let me just show you, in fact, as an example, just to show you what I mean about mixing this with inks. So let's take our oxide. So I know you were all loving this colour. Have a look on CraftStash for all their distress inks as well. They've got lots on there. Now I'm going to just use a little bit of this. You can use a lot more, but look at this. Mix it into the ink. Use your palette knife or something else, and you've then coloured that paste as well, and you can go ahead and you can stencil that if you want to. Isn't that just beautiful? So you've got that gorgeous green colour there now, and of course it's always going to be a little bit lighter because you're mixing white paste, but it's really nice actually if you can to do like a marbled effect. So have 2 or 3 different colours and mix them but not completely, so the colours still remain separate. So I'm going to pop that to the side and just wipe this because I do want some white stenciling this time. But that's how you can very easily colour this paste, and you can use it on your products, on your project, I'm sorry. There we go. So now I'm going to stencil into this. Now you can tack this down if you want to with a little bit of low tack tape. I'll just pop a bit there just as an example, but I'm doing such a small area, I'm not too worried about this. But certainly if you've got any stencil spray, then I would use that to hold it down, and so nothing gets under the edges if you want a perfectly clean stencil impression. If you're not worried about a little bit seeping out, if you like that sort of distressed grungy look, then perfect. So the first thing I'm going to do is press this down quite hard to the edge and go down onto the craft that's underneath here. So just pressing down my layer, because of course I've put foam tape under there, so I need to press that layer down to make sure I get it nice and close. And then I'm just taking my palette knife over here. I'm not worried about going over the edge onto my mat because I can wipe that clean. It is like water based, so don't worry about what you get it on. If you actually get a bit on your clothes, it will wash off. I'd suggest washing it as quickly as possible, obviously, so it doesn't dry, because it dries quite quickly, but it will come off, so don't panic. Or be sensible, unlike me, and wear an apron or something. So just taking the excess off there, and then I'm going to lift this off gently there, because you can bend the stencil, you can lift it off nice and easily. It's a very flexible stencil as well. So I've got that distressed look to it. I absolutely love that clock. I think it's beautiful. Now I don't have time to let that dry before I carry on with the demonstration, so I'm just going to work around it. Now with this paste as well, what you can also do is just take a tiny bit, and you might want to do this with a paintbrush or something, but you can also add to the edges of some of your die cuts, your fussy cut pieces from the papers if you want to, and that just adds an extra little bit of dimension too. So I'm just going to do that around the edges here, just the tiniest little bits like so there. And then I'm going to do the same. I've cut this bit that says has no limits, so I'm going to have love, and then over the word love here I'm going to put has no limits, so I don't have the same word written on there twice. I'll come back and just say hello to a few of you in a moment. We'll also very shortly have some winners as well, which is exciting because some of you are going to win some of these Stamperia products, which are absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm lucky I get to play with them, but I think I would absolutely be on CraftStash right now buying them if I could. So pop that down there. Now we're looking at the foam tape again, so carefully lift the edges up. So I'm going to use that wide foam tape and use that over the clock there. So the great thing about doing this sort of grungy, messy style of crafting or mixed media is you don't have to worry if you make any mistakes. If you make a little bit of mess, all is forgiven. I promise you every time. I strongly urge anybody to try out mixed media if you can. I think you'll really enjoy the freedom of not having to be perfect every single time. So just peeling the backing off. Obviously I've got my edges are still damp there, and usually you'd let them dry, wouldn't you, before you go in with sticking things down. There we go. And then my has no limits. Now of course I need to use a smaller foam tape, but if you don't have it, I mean I've got one that's slightly smaller here which will fit, but if you don't have one you can cut the larger one down. So I'm just going to place that. It's easier if I place this over that word love. And I've got another little element just to pop in that I do very often when I'm doing anything that's mixed media sort of style. Love has no limits. I like to bring in cotton. Okay, so just take a piece of cotton and cut it. Oops, actually cut it, don't let your scissors run through it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to screw that up a little bit, and I'm going to tuck that under the heart. Now you can do this first, but I like to do it this way so I know where my heart's going to be and which bits are going to be sticking out. And you can just tuck that under, lift some areas, lift some cottons out, separate the threads. And of course that's then sitting into that that stenciled area as well. And you've got an extra little bit of texture in there too, so you can keep doing that all the way round. And then you have another mixed media card, that's that shabby chic look, using those Stamperia products again there. So now, very exciting, I have for you some winners. So I just need to very quickly recap. In fact, I'm just going to show you some of these papers again because they are absolutely beautiful. So the new paper pads from Stamperia you can be pre-ordering. This is a very small little example of the 12 by 12 paper packs, just the front cover so you can get an idea, but you can see all the images over on CraftStash now. We saw that video as well, so we might replay that in a moment too, just so you can see what you can pre-order. But they are beautiful, beautiful papers. So then we have the sweetie ones. I love this, absolutely love the cakes, all the cupcakes and things in there. You've got the beautiful, the teacups, so thinking afternoon tea in there as well. We have the princess. That is very shabby chic. It's very vintage, this one as well. Now these are the brand new pre-order ones, and this I believe is the newest one as well, Love Story. So really that's a little more modern, that one, isn't it? You've got your corals in there and your teals in there, lots of wood grain too, so they're beautiful. So make sure you have a look at those online to pre-order right now. But you've also got older collections. So we've had a look here at the, let's just lift this up, the Imagine. This is what I've been using today, is the Imagine collection, which is absolutely stunning. We've also had a little look at this one, which is that very masculine vintage one. Absolutely adore that. It smells so good. It really does smell good as well. So these are all on CraftStash at the moment. If you're using that code MIX10, you can get 10% off those and lots of other mixed media products as well. So let's have a look at these winners. The best part of the whole show is announcing the winners, I think. So from the Facebook post that was put out, I think it is usually a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I lose track of, who else lose track of days at the moment? I've no idea what day it is until I suddenly get an email and say, by the way, you've got the live tomorrow, and then I know it's a Thursday coming on for Friday. So the winners from the Facebook post earlier in the week are, we have Pippa Smith, well done Pippa. And we also have Susan Sheltram. Congratulations to both of you. You are both going to win a collection of these beautiful Stamperia products. Now, we don't know which ones they'll be because we are splitting the bundles between you, but there are 3 other winners. So you're 3 winners that are hopefully watching still. If you did have to skip away, you can catch up over on YouTube, or maybe you missed the beginning. Make sure you catch us on YouTube. It takes me about an hour or so to get it uploaded once I've sorted those children out that I can hear. So the 3 winners from the comments today are, very lovely name, Violet Louise, well done. We have Joe Ely, I think it's Ely, I think that's how you say it. You'll know if it's you or not. And we have Rena Hurst. Congratulations to 3 of you. You have all also won the fantastic bundle. Now we are giving away through those different bundles nearly £100 worth of product, so which is absolutely amazing. So just to recap, we have the pastes, we have the crackle paste that you saw me use, and that worked really well with this tag. Can you see the crackles on there? Let's hold that up, there we go. In fact, what I can do now, we've left it a little while, I have to have it quite cool in here because it does get very hot. Can you see those crackles already appearing on the edge? Let me just pop to this view so you can see them, because I think you'll be able to see them. This is the one that I did live. Now if you have a look down here, can you see those crackles appearing? And along here. So that really hasn't taken long at all to start crackling while I've been working away on other products. So I would suggest, if you love the crackle paste and you're using it, maybe pop some on your project in the evening, and then the next morning that will all be crackled up and ready for you. So we looked at the crackle paste. We also looked at the heavy body paste as well, which is what I used with that stencil. Speaking of the stencil, it needs a clean, but it's here, and these are very flexible stencils and really large stencils as well. If you see this one with the clock and with that wing on there, that mechanical wing, on the website you'll see what I mean. It looks like it's an A5 one, they're actually A4, they're huge. Excuse me, sorry, had to cough then. The stamps as well, let me just get the stamps for you. The beautiful, beautiful stamps. These underwater ones are amazing. The detail in them are stunning. Please check those out as well. There's lots and lots of different types under Stamperia. If you're looking for these, rather than typing anything in, if you go to brand at the top of CraftStash, there's brands, and you can scroll down. It's all alphabetical. You can see all the brands there. Just pop to Stamperia, you'll find everything. So everything 10% off with that mix 10. And the detail in these is absolutely amazing. Here's just one of them. I mean, that is phenomenal. Really beautiful, and will stamp perfectly. We also had a look at that stone paper as well. The stone paper that I made this flower out of. Lots and lots of tutorials online on how to use stone paper. You can stitch it and sew it. You can distress it. You can cut into it, die cut it, emboss it, whatever you want to. And then you can even wash it afterwards. Okay, so fantastic paper to get hold of. And of course, we've got the paper pads as well. I think that's everything for today. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been really good fun being across Facebook on all of these platforms. So whatever page you're joining us from, we'd love to know. You can continue to comment on videos for us. Let us know where you've watched from, where you've picked us up from. Hopefully I'll be back here again next Friday. We've actually got Daisy May next Friday, so I'm really excited because we've got some brand new products from her as well. And of course, they're all hand drawn. They're absolutely stunning. Don't forget, you've got your pre-orders of those papers. You've got the pre-orders of the Hunky Dory magazine kit as well. That's number 11. So make sure you grab that while you can. By pre-ordering, you're securing it. You're making sure it's yours. I will see you next Friday. Please make sure you all have a fantastic weekend. I hope the weather improves if it's anything like it is here today. And I will see you next Friday. Take care, everybody, and happy crafting. Bye-bye.